This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and today is Sunday, March 31st, 2019. The title of this rant is Notes from the Underground, behind-the-scenes stories. So some of the behind-the-scenes stories that are important that happened this week, a federal judge basically indicated that the betrayer of trust who had revoked a ban on drilling for oil and gas in the Atlantic and Arctic Oceans is illegal. And let's get to the bottom of what that was all about. That was this administration basically saying, forget any type of protections. We want to have giveaways to oil and gas companies because the basic premise that we want to establish is we want companies to make as much filthy, dirty money as possible. We don't give a shit about the air. We don't give a shit about the water. We don't give a shit about the land. We just want dirty profits because that's what this is. It was a giveaway to the oil and gas companies. Now, there have been over 20 to 30 setbacks in federal court of this administration trying to roll back previous administrations, mostly Obama's, conservation policies. So that we must keep fighting that. That is terribly important because they really don't care about that at all. Now, in terms of the border, is that in spite of all this talk about, and this is terrible things, that he's going to shut down the border, which can cause, I believe, up to $2 billion. We do about $2 billion in trade back and forth between us and Mexico. But behind the scenes of all that is still this week, this administration is making every effort possible to sidestep, to nudge its way, to do whatever it possibly can to continue to kidnap children from their parents and put them in cages that are not sanitary, that are not safe, etc., while sending their parents back. That is continuing under their policy. I still believe that there are still 1,000 or more children who are not accounted for, who have been taken from their parents. And this goes back to 7 or 8 months ago, maybe even close to a year ago, that we still don't know where they are. Because their policy is, this administration's policy is, we don't want brown people in this country. And we want to do everything that we can to get rid of them. And remember that this is coming from about 3 small countries, a certain area in El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras, where the murder rate is exceptionally high, the poverty is exceptionally high, and basically this administration wants to send them back, where they're sending children back to be raped and other children back to being murdered, families to being murdered, etc. And of course, their whole policy is ass backwards because they basically want to take $700 million in aid, which basically would hopefully help those countries establish more law and order so there could be safety there, so people would stay there. But no, they're thinking of it ass backwards because the only policy they care about is getting brown people out of this country. And on the last thing, this week, this administration has approved of getting nuclear power companies to give technical nuclear power information to Saudi Arabia, even though Saudi Arabia has not anti-proliferation. They haven't signed the anti-proliferation agreement that they are required to do. Now, Saudi Arabia is a bad country, and they have bad intentions all the way along. And this administration is supporting them fully in their illegal war in Yemen. They're supporting them in their murdering and slicing up of a Washington Post columnist. I believe his name is Khashoggi, which happened in October. Nothing has been done about that. They are cozy. Jared is cozy with MBS. Trump is cozy with MBS. And basically, they want to get, as if things aren't bad enough in the Middle East as it is. They want to support probably the most ruthless dictatorship that there is in the Middle East. And this guy and this country, again, they're all ass backwards. And we're supporting every terrible thing that they're doing. We got to get this guy out of here.